Hey, my name is George Billions, and I'm going to be reading a short passage from my new book, Buying Illegal Bugs with Bitcoin. It's sort of a crime noir slash weird horror novel about a small time drug dealer who buys a mysterious insect off the internet and all of the terrible, terrible things that happen as a result. It's available right now on Amazon.com in Kindle and paperback formats, and there's also an Audible version coming soon. So check it out if you're into that sort of thing. This is chapter 25. The vehicle had stopped, the engine killed. Two doors creaked open and slammed closed. Footsteps crunched in the gravel. I waited, tire iron in a sweaty grip, the name of an insect reverberating through my skull. The latch on the trunk clicked. I was ready to smash a Nazi across the face and make a break for it. The trunk swung open. In the moonlight, I saw stars and trees above me. No waiting goons. And then two enormous insect faces slid into view. The triangular head of a mantid twitched its beak-like mandibles in my direction and stared at me with bulging compound eyes. Beside the towering mantis loomed an even more vile abomination, some hybrid of human and scorpion. A shelled torso ended abruptly where a head should be, beady eyes and mouth parts gnashing out of a hole in the thing's neck. The hungry chelicerae protruding from the mouth resembled smaller versions of the pincers held up at me in lieu of a man's hands. A monster stinger snaked its way into the trunk, aimed at my face. My body protested, rocked itself with waves of pain as I pushed myself up and swung the tire iron. The stinger made a loud clinking sound as I knocked it out of the way. I swung in the opposite direction, aiming for a pincer, but could muster less force, already wearing myself thin with the first blow. The ache in my wrist blossomed as I hit nothing and reversed my swing once again. A pincer caught my swinging hand, knocking the iron loose. The other claw grasped a leg and began to pull. The mantis struck, firing its arms into the trunk at my body. The screaming noise of cicadas drowned out the hum in my brain as the two giant insects dragged me out of my car. I thrashed my body and shook my limbs. A foot touched the gravel before being pulled off the ground once again by a monstrous pincer. I kicked the scorpion with all the power I had. It dropped me. The mantid still had me gripped around the arm and chest with its spiked raptorial forearms, the barbs stabbing into my flesh. I swung my head back, desperate to stop the inevitable slow-chewing death that occurred when a mantid grasped its prey. I connected with the insect's head. It loosened its grip and chittered with pain. I struck again. It took one of its arms off of me. I swung an elbow back, thumped against its thorax. The scorpion pressed its stinger against my chest. The mantis screeched and released its grip completely. Weak and sore, I crumpled to the ground. Gravel dug into my knees and cut my hands. "Huck," the mantis said. "I think you broke my hucking jaw." When I looked up, the massive insects were gone. In the mantid's place stood Goatee, cradling his jaw with both hands. Where the hulking scorpion had been now stood the monster known as Zane. Instead of a stinger, he held a shotgun aimed at my face. The cicadas continued to sing. Amazon.com. Buying Illegal Bugs with Bitcoin by George Billions.